What if the bond you share with your dog isn't just love? What if I told you it's an ancient pact, a sacred assignment you agreed to before you were even born? The being that greets you with pure joy, that seems to read your mind, that lays its head on your lap when you're feeling down. That's not just a companion. This is the key to unlocking one of the deepest spiritual truths of our existence, a truth that will forever change how you see the furry soulmate by your side. And it all came to light through a man named Edgar Cayce, an ordinary person who, in his sleep, could touch the extraordinary. Every single dog is on a precise mission in the life of its human. Cayce stated in a landmark session, "They are, in his words, spiritual bodyguards in a furry disguise. That unwavering loyalty you see, it isn't simply pack instinct. It's the fulfillment of a cosmic promise. They register your emotions before you've even processed them yourself. This connection," Cayce explained, "isn't chemical, it's an energetic, spiritual bridge between dimensions." Cayce had already established his stunning ability to access information on past lives, future events, and miraculous healings. But what he revealed about dogs felt different. It gave language to a profound feeling millions of us have, but could never articulate. Have you ever felt that the timing of your dog's arrival was almost perfect? Out of all the animals in the world, why did you find each other? Why is its personality the exact blend of quirks and habits that it is? Edgar Cayce's work reveals that in this sacred story, there are no accidents. There is only a flawlessly orchestrated spiritual plan, a mission of service masked as a tail wagging friendship. Now, over 80 years after this information came through, we are finally ready to understand its full depth. Prepare yourself to see the real reason your dog is in your life. Stop for a second. Recall the story of how you first met. Perhaps you walked into a shelter with no intention of adopting and found yourself captivated by one specific pair of eyes. Maybe your dog appeared on your property as if guided by an invisible hand. Or maybe you fought the idea of a pet for years, until one day, a strange impulse you couldn't explain made you say, yes. Do you truly think any of that was by chance? Edgar Cayce uncovered a reality that will redefine that memory forever. You and your dog had a bond long before you met in this physical world. You share a connection that defies our understanding of time and physicality, a link that death cannot sever. In the realms between lives, our souls make agreements. We plan our pivotal relationships with family, with partners, with friends, and, crucially, with the souls that will become our animal companions. But before we explore these incredible revelations, it's vital to know the man who delivered them. Edgar Cayce was no self-proclaimed guru looking for a following. He was a simple man from a Kentucky farm, a photographer who stumbled upon a phenomenal gift he then dedicated his life to using for others. Born in 1877, his life took a dramatic turn at age 21 when laryngitis stole his voice. Medical experts gave up. But in a desperate attempt, Cayce was put into a hypnotic trance. In this state, the impossible occurred. He not only diagnosed his own condition with startling medical precision, but prescribed a complex treatment that restored his voice completely. What was more astounding was the discovery that in this sleeping trance, he could access a universal database of information about anyone, anywhere. All he needed was a name and location to deliver detailed medical diagnosis, predict world events, and chart past lives. Over 43 years, he gave over 14,000 of these documented readings. Top physicians validated his medical insights. Countless individuals he never met confirmed his predictions. Scientists were baffled. He was called the sleeping prophet because this river of knowledge only flowed when he was in a deep trance. Upon waking, he remembered nothing. It was as if a higher consciousness was speaking through him. And it was this consciousness that unlocked the secret world of our dogs. The information Cayce channeled about animals was remarkably consistent. He detailed how various species serve different spiritual roles on Earth, why specific animals are drawn to specific people, and how pets act as living gateways between the physical and spiritual planes. But dogs, Cayce emphasized, occupy a unique and honored place. They are the only species to have entered a deliberate, conscious agreement with humankind. This wasn't a contract for food and shelter, it was a soul-level pact. Dogs chose to tie their evolutionary destiny to ours. Case revealed in one reading, they willingly sacrificed a portion of their wild spirit to become our spiritual partners. This is a sacred vow that spans across multiple lifetimes. What makes these insights so staggering is that Case voiced them decades before modern science even began to seriously study animal consciousness, interspecies emotional bonds, or the complexities of the human-animal connection. He was describing quantum realities 50 years ahead of his time. Case explained that a dog's energetic radar is far more sensitive than a human's. They perceive spiritual energies, shifts in a person's energy field as or aura, and can even anticipate future events through a kind of extrasensory awareness. A dog knows when his purpose with a person is fulfilled, Case said. They also know when it's their time to depart. This isn't a tragedy. It is the completion of a sacred mission. In his readings, Case consistently referred to dogs as our spiritual mirrors. If you need to learn unconditional trust, you'll be brought together with a dog who is unfailingly loyal. If you need to work on your own patience, you'll get a dog that tests it daily. If you carry deep emotional wounds, you'll receive a dog with an inherently gentle, healing nature. The most incredible part is that Case stated these spiritual truths with the same matter of fact certainty he used to diagnose an illness. For him, healing the body and understanding the soul weren't separate disciplines. They were facets of one unified spiritual reality. Now, nearly a century later, Edgar Case's words are echoed in the lived experiences of millions of dog lovers. They report stories of telepathic moments, of feeling protected by an unseen force, and of personal growth so profound it can only be explained through the lens of the sleeping prophet's wisdom. Case's authority stems not just from his psychic talent, but from the decades-long, proven track record of his information. When he speaks of the spiritual mission of dogs, he isn't guessing. He's relaying direct knowledge from a higher plane of reality, and that knowledge is about to transform your relationship with your dog. Just think back to that moment you first met. That feeling. Do you truly believe it was just a happy accident? Case's work confirms it was a sacred reunion. You knew each other before. You share a soul-level recognition that has survived death and rebirth. In the spiritual planning stages before we are born, we agree to contracts with the souls who will shape our journey. These are our soulmates, our family, and yes, our pets. Canine souls select their human families before birth. Case explained in a session that moved everyone present. They assess our spiritual needs and prepare to serve us in the precise way that we require. This means your dog is not just an animal you chose. It is a soul that accepted a specific assignment to assist in your spiritual evolution. It already knows your deepest insecurities, your hidden fears, your areas that need healing, and it arrived with the exact personality package designed to help you work on them. Consider your dog's primary characteristics. Is it intensely protective? You are likely being taught a lesson about setting boundaries and trusting in your own safety. Is it endlessly playful? Perhaps you need a reminder of how to embrace simple joy and live in the moment. Is it profoundly calm? Your soul may be crying out for peace and a slower pace. But this connection runs deeper than mere personality traits. Case revealed that many of our dogs are the reincarnated souls of pets from our past lives. They return to continue the sacred work that was started lifetimes ago. The recognition of a past life dog is immediate, Case said. There is a familiarity that needs no introduction, a bond that is already ancient. Have you ever had that feeling? The uncanny sense that you've known your dog your entire life, even though you just met. That's not your imagination. That is soul memory. The indicators of this deep, time connection are clear. Your dog might have strange reactions to certain places, as if recalling a memory. It might exhibit fears or preferences that have no basis in its current life. It might possess skills or habits that seem pre-programmed, like echoes from another existence. Case also unveiled that in some cases, our dogs are human souls who have chosen to incarnate in animal form to serve a specific person. These are the old souls in a dog's body, the ones with a human, like wisdom in their eyes, who demonstrate profound compassion and whose behavior is almost unnervingly human. These souls make a monumental sacrifice. Case noted. They choose to pause their own human evolution to serve as a guardian. It is an act of pure love that we can barely comprehend. This explains those dogs that seem to understand complex human emotions, that offer empathy with a startling level of sophistication, that seem to be constantly trying to teach us something vital with their actions. The timing of their arrival is also part of this divine plan. Your dog appears in your life at the precise moment you require their unique support. It could be during a period of immense grief, right before a major life change, or just as you're about to face a challenge that demands the kind of unconditional loyalty only they can provide. Edgar Cayce called this perfect synchronicity a part of the divine orchestration of our lives. Nothing is random. Every meeting has a meaning. Every bond has a mission. And the mission of a dog is among the most selfless of all. They come to be our teachers of unconditional love, fierce loyalty, instant forgiveness, and presence. But they also come to shield us energetically, to help us process old trauma, and to ready us for our next spiritual leap. When you look at your dog from now on, you're not just looking at a pet. You are seeing a spiritual warrior who chose to put its own journey on hold to advance yours. You are seeing a courageous soul that volunteered to walk beside you through every high and every low. Why does your dog sometimes seem to be guarding you from something that isn't there? Why does it get agitated in one room but not another? Why does it seem to anticipate danger or sense a person's intentions before you do? The answer is far more profound than animal instinct. They are your front-line spiritual defense. While humanity has largely let our innate spiritual senses atrophy, dogs have kept theirs sharp. They perceive dimensions of reality our logical minds have been trained to ignore, and they use this sixth sense to protect us in ways we rarely acknowledge. Dogs are spiritual sentinels. Cayce explained. They detect negative entities, dense energetic signatures, and intrusive spiritual forces long before they reach their human. This means when your dog is barking at what looks like an empty corner, it's very likely not empty at all. It's issuing a warning about something present in a vibrational reality you cannot see. This ability to perceive beyond the veil is why dogs have been revered as sacred guardians in countless ancient traditions. But their protection is not just passive sensing, it's active. They act as living energetic shields, literally absorbing negativity aimed at their humans and transmuting it within their own energy fields. A dog can absorb a significant portion of the psychic or emotional negativity directed at its person. Cayce revealed. They do this intentionally. It is part of their mission of love. This shocking truth explains why so many dogs develop illnesses that seem to mysteriously mirror the emotional or physical struggles of their owners. They are not simply falling ill. They are physically processing toxic energies to shield their families. Cayce described 3 core levels of this canine spiritual protection. Level 1, energetic boundary protection. All dogs establish a protective perimeter around their home and family. They can feel the negative intent of a person approaching from a distance, which is why they may bark or become agitated at certain visitors before they even reach the door. Level 2, entity defense. Dogs can see and engage with spirits and beings from adjacent dimensions. They form a natural deterrent to negative spiritual influences that might otherwise attach to or affect their human family. Level 3, advanced psychic shielding. Some dogs, particularly those with a very deep soul bond with their owner, can intercept direct psychic attacks, curses, or focused negative thought forms. They essentially take the hit, absorbing and neutralizing the energy. What makes this protective service so breathtaking is that it's entirely voluntary. Dogs aren't conscripted into this role. They choose it out of profound love. It's a key clause in the spiritual contract they signed before this life. A dog's loyalty is not instinct, it is a spiritual vow. Case stated. They pledge to protect and serve, and they honor that pledge to their very last breath. This reframes behaviors we often misinterpret. When your dog seems to dislike someone for no reason, it isn't being rude. It is sensing an energetic signature in that person that it has identified as a potential threat to you. When it demands to sleep on your bed, it's not being spoiled. It is carrying out its protective duty during your most energetically vulnerable state, sleep. While we sleep, our own energetic defenses are down. Dogs know this, and they ramp up their vigilance, standing guard over our subconscious minds. This is why many owners will notice their dogs are more alert at night, even with no audible disturbances. Case also revealed that dogs can often forewarn of negative events. They sense the shifts in the energetic field that precede an accident, illness, or crisis. This is why they might suddenly exhibit bizarre behavior or try to get your attention with unusual urgency. They see the energetic blueprint of a future event forming in the present. Case said, an agitated dog may be reacting to something that is not yet manifest, but is imminent. This predictive ability is one of their most advanced forms of protection. They don't just shield you from what's here, they try to warn you about what's coming. Now that you understand your dog is your guardian, you can learn to read the signals it's sending constantly. Every strange behavior is a message. Your dog is a living, breathing report on the unseen realities around you. But before we get into that, I have to invite you to join the Quantum Mind Reprogramming Challenge. It's a 21-day journey designed for those ready to master their reality and consciously create their future. You'll receive daily exercises to rewire your brain, elevate your vibration, and unlock your true power. If you feel the call, check the pinned comment for details. Let's start with the most common and dismissed behavior, barking at thin air. When your dog barks into an apparently empty space, it is seeing something you are not. Edgar Cayce taught that dogs perceive spiritual entities, pools of residual energy, and the energetic imprints of past events. Every room holds energetic memory. Cayce revealed, dogs read these memories like a history book. They bark to clear negative energy or to alert you to its presence. If your dog consistently barks in one specific spot, investigate it energetically. Perhaps a traumatic event occurred there. It could be an energetic weak spot in the home or the location of a persistent spiritual entity. The tone of the bark is also a clue. Short, sharp barks are often physical alerts. A long, deep, rumbling bark can indicate a negative spiritual presence. High-pitched, rapid barks are often urgent warnings of impending danger. Another mystical sign is a refusal to enter certain areas. If your dog consistently avoids a room or a part of the house, it is sensing something that you need to be aware of. Dogs are walking energy barometers. Cayce said, they feel instantly when a space is energetically heavy or occupied. Trust its instinct. Perform an energy clearing on that area. Burn sage, light a white candle, or simply state a powerful prayer for protection and purification. Have you ever caught your dog staring intently at something invisible? It might freeze for minutes, head cocked, eyes focused as if watching a film. In these moments, your dog is most likely observing a spiritual presence. It could be a guide, a deceased loved one, or simply energy in motion. The key is its reaction. If the dog is calm and curious, the presence is likely benign. If it is tense or fearful, it may be a presence that needs to be cleared from the space. Moments when your dog seeks you out for no clear reason and insists on physical contact are also profoundly significant. Cayce revealed that dogs sense when our energy field is weakened or when we are being psychically drained. They move in to offer an immediate energetic boost. Cayce explained, their physical proximity reinforces our own aura, helping us to repel negative influences. The next time your dog glues itself to your side unprompted, check in with yourself. Were you stressed, worried, or thinking negative thoughts? Your dog detected an energetic vulnerability and came to patch the leak. Overprotective phases are also vital signs. If your dog suddenly won't leave your side, starts sleeping at your bedroom door, or becomes hyper vigilant around others, it may be sensing a period of spiritual weakness for you. This often coincides with major life transitions, periods of high stress, or when we face difficult choices. Our energy becomes more porous, and dogs instinctively dial up their security detail. Tell me in the comments, what is the most unusual thing you've ever seen your dog do? Let's decode what it was trying to tell you. Even diet can be a spiritual signal. A dog that abruptly stops eating may be absorbing a high volume of negative energy from its environment or owner. It's as if their system is so busy processing toxic energy that it has no capacity for food. Case taught that when a dog refuses to eat without a clear medical reason, the owners should look inward. What is happening emotionally in the home? Are there unspoken conflicts, high levels of stress, or dense energies that need attention? Sleep patterns are also revealing. A dog that is sleeping far more than usual might be engaged in heavy duty energetic transmutation. Sleep is how they process and purify the negative energies they've taken on for us. Conversely, a dog that is restless at night, unable to settle, may be detecting heightened spiritual activity in the environment. They are staying on high alert to guard the family during this vulnerable time. The most poignant behavior Case described is when a dog begins to show an uncharacteristic amount of affection. It becomes clingier, seeks more touch, wants to be near constantly. This often happens when they sense that their own mission with a person is drawing to a close. Case revealed it's as if they are aware their time is limited and they want to soak in every last moment of connection. This understanding bestows upon us a beautiful duty to pay attention. The silent conversation is happening all the time, and it's about to get even deeper. Edgar Case discovered that dogs don't just protect us. They are flawless mirrors of our own souls. Every habit, every quirk, every issue your dog has is a direct reflection of something happening on your own spiritual path. Dogs are an externalized reflection of their human's internal state. Case stated in a session that silenced the room. They manifest outwardly what we need, but refuse to see in ourselves. This means your dog is a living report card on your soul's progress. Its strengths, its weaknesses, its fears, its needs. They are all a reflection of you. Let's start with a challenging example. An aggressive dog, contrary to popular belief, is rarely owned by an overtly aggressive person. More often, it is owned by someone who is deeply suppressing their own anger. The dog acts out the rage that the human won't allow themselves to feel. Instead of being frustrated with your territorial dog, ask yourself, where in my life do I feel my space is being invaded? Where do I need to set stronger emotional boundaries? Where am I failing to protect myself? Case explained that dogs arrive in our lives equipped with the perfect personality to highlight our blind spots. Let's look at the most common mirrors. The anxious dog. If your dog is a ball of nerves, it's a mirror for your own unacknowledged anxiety. Anxious dogs show up for people who need to learn to surrender, to trust the flow of life, and to release the illusion of control. They compel us to cultivate patience and manage our own internal storms. The fearful dog, a dog that is scared of its own shadow, is reflecting back your own hidden fears. It shows you how fear holds you back from experiencing life fully. In the process of rehabilitating our fearful dog, we learn how to confront our own phobias. The stubborn dog. If your dog refuses to listen, it's reflecting your own inflexibility. Stubborn dogs are teachers for people who resist change. They show us that brute force and control are not the answer. The needy dog. A dog that demands constant validation is mirroring our own emotional codependency. It holds up a mirror to our own excessive need for approval. By teaching the dog to feel secure on its own, we learn to provide that security for ourselves. The independent dog aloof. Independent dogs often choose people who struggle with deep intimacy. They teach us the delicate dance between freedom and connection. But the most stunning mirror of all is how a dog's physical health reflects the owner's emotional state. Case's discoveries on this were revolutionary. Digestive issues. Dogs with chronic stomach problems often belong to people who cannot digest or process difficult life events. The dog is literally absorbing and attempting to process the emotional energy its human cannot handle. Skin problems. Dogs with allergies and skin conditions can reflect the owner's own issues with self-worth and vulnerability. The skin is our boundary with the world. Problems there often mirror our struggles with how we are seen. Respiratory issues. A dog with breathing problems can be a sign that the owner feels suffocated or oppressed in their own life, lacking the freedom to breathe deeply. Heart conditions. Perhaps the most powerful mirror. Dogs with heart ailments are often companions to people with wounded or closed hearts. The dog is literally taking on the burden of their owner's heartbreak. Dogs assume the illnesses of their humans as an act of spiritual service. Case explained. They would rather suffer in the body than watch their humans suffer in the soul. This insight carries with it a profound responsibility. When your dog gets sick, the first question should be, what part of my own emotional or spiritual life needs healing? In many cases, as we begin to heal ourselves emotionally, our dogs make miraculous recoveries. But the mirror works in the positive direction too. A joyful, well-adjusted dog reflects an owner who is in a state of inner harmony. A loving, social dog reflects a person who is open to giving and receiving love. Your dog's personality also points to your latent gifts. If your dog is highly intuitive, you likely have dormant psychic gifts. If it is fiercely protective, you may have a natural talent for nurturing and leading others. Edgar Cayce taught that our greatest spiritual growth comes from consciously observing the lessons our dogs are showing us. Instead of judging their behavior as a problem, ask, what is this trying to teach me about myself? When you start to see your dog as a soul mirror, the entire dynamic shifts. You move from being a frustrated owner trying to fix a problem to a grateful student learning a soul lesson. Have you ever had a moment where you're sure your dog reads your mind? This communication doesn't rely on words, Cayce explained. It is happening constantly through thought, forms, mental pictures, and a direct transfer of energy from one consciousness to another. Dogs are masters of telepathy because they never unlearned it. As humans developed spoken language, our innate telepathic abilities began to fade. Dogs, however, have maintained this pure channel of communication. They don't just receive our thoughts, they are constantly broadcasting information back to us. Most of us just haven't been taught how to tune in. Let's start with undeniable examples you've likely seen. The thought of food brings them running. You're in another room. You haven't made a sound, but you simply decide it's dinner time. Seconds later, your dog is in the kitchen, waiting. It didn't hear anything. It received your mental broadcast. Shared sorrow, you feel a wave of sadness, but you don't show any outward sign. Still, your dog approaches you, offering a comforting nuzzle. It felt your emotional frequency shift before you even moved a muscle. Pre-arrival jitters. Your dog gets excited and goes to the door minutes before you arrive home, even if you keep an irregular schedule. It's not psychic, it's telepathic. It's picking up on your intention to return. Cayce explained this communication operates through what he called a shared field of consciousness. When a deep bond is formed, you and your dog inhabit a shared mental space where thoughts and feelings flow freely between you. This isn't supernatural, it's spiritual science. Cayce said consciousness vibrates at certain frequencies. When two beings are tuned to the same frequency, telepathy is the natural result, and you can strengthen this skill intentionally. Here are Cayce's methods. Technique 1. The mental movie. Sit quietly near your dog. Close your eyes and form a very clear visual of what you want to communicate. To call him, vividly picture him walking over to you. To calm him, picture him resting peacefully. Hold that image like you are sending a movie file directly into his mind. Be calm and focused. Technique 2. Emotional broadcasting. Dogs are emotional sponges. You can send a message using feeling alone. To calm your dog, cultivate a state of profound peace within yourself. To alert him, generate a feeling of focused readiness. The trick is to genuinely feel the emotion, not just think about it. Dogs read what you are, not what you pretend to be. Technique 3. The eye contact bridge. Gaze softly into your dog's eyes. This is not a stare down. It's a look of love and focused intent. As you hold gentle eye contact, project your thought or feeling. Case found that direct eye contact opens an instantaneous telepathic channel. It's how you can have a full conversation with just a look. Technique 4. Mental questions and observation. You can mentally ask your dog questions and then watch for the response in its body language or energy. Silently ask, "Are you in pain?" and watch for a reaction. Ask, "Want to go outside?" and notice the shift. The answer might be a tail wag, an ear twitch, or even an image that pops into your own mind. Trust your first impression. But telepathy isn't just for commands. Case revealed that dogs are often trying to send us vital information about our own health, future, and spiritual path. Health warnings. Dogs can sense disease before physical symptoms appear. If your dog begins obsessively sniffing or licking one spot on your body, take it seriously. It may be alerting you to an energetic imbalance that precedes illness. People warnings. When your dog has an instant, strong aversion to someone, it is reading their energetic signature. It is picking up information your conscious mind is missing. Trust its judgment. Event predictions. Dogs feel the energetic tremors that precede major events. If your dog starts acting highly unusual for no discernible reason, it might be sensing a significant life event on the horizon. The most profound revelation from Edgar Cayce concerns our dog's role as master spiritual healers. Dogs are divine agents of healing. He declared, they are capable of absorbing trauma, dissolving energetic blockages, and restoring emotional harmony in their humans. This is one of their most sacred duties. If you have navigated a difficult time in your life and felt an inexplicable sense of comfort from your dog's presence, you were not just imagining it. That was active, targeted healing. It wasn't just company. It was a transfer of healing energy through your bond of love. Dogs have a remarkable ability most humans lack. They can take on negative energy without being permanently harmed by it. They act like conscious energetic filters, absorbing our emotional density and alchemizing it back into light. Let's break down how this healing works. Trauma absorption. When you are experiencing deep emotional pain, grief, heartbreak, failure, your dog immediately senses the distortion in your energy field. It will draw close, and through physical touch or simple proximity, it begins to sponge up that dense, traumatic energy. Have you noticed how your dog becomes your shadow when you are at your lowest? How it seems to need more cuddles? It is not just providing comfort, it is performing an energetic extraction. Energetic alchemy. After absorbing this negativity, dogs process it through their own energy systems. Cayce explained they possess an innate capacity to transmute dense vibrations into a higher frequency. They are spiritual alchemists, turning your emotional lead into gold. The return of healed energy. Once the energy is purified, dogs transmit it back to you. This happens through their loving gaze, their playful energy, their physical affection. This is why you feel better after being with them. You have literally received an infusion of healed energy. This is not a quaint metaphor, it is a tangible energetic exchange. Many people share stories of how, after a period of intense struggle, they slowly started to feel better, attributing their dog's constant, loving presence as the key to their recovery. They were right. Cayce even identified specific healing specializations. Anxiety healers. Dogs are masters at healing anxiety because they radiate an energy of absolute presence. They live in the now. Their steady energy has a natural calming effect on the human nervous system. Depression healers. The pure life, force energy of a dog is a potent antidote to the heaviness of depression. They radiate authentic joy and unconditional acceptance, which gradually erodes the dense fog of sadness. Trauma healers. Dogs are uniquely equipped to heal trauma because they offer a zone of absolute emotional safety. There is no judgment, no criticism, no abandonment. In their unconditional presence, old wounds feel safe enough to surface and be released. Loneliness healers. The profound bond we forge with a dog is a powerful remedy for the wounds of isolation. They are living proof that we are worthy of steadfast, unconditional love, and that we are never truly alone. This healing is amplified during sleep. Case revealed that when we sleep near our dogs, a profound energetic synchronization occurs. Our energy fields merge, allowing healing to take place on the deepest subconscious levels. The barriers of the rational mind fall away in sleep. Case said, this is when the soul is most receptive to healing. A dog sleeping by your side is actively mending the wounds of your soul. This explains the primal urge so many of us feel to sleep with our dogs. It is not mere habit, it is a spiritual prescription for healing. This healing is not limited to the emotional. Dogs can also catalyze physical healing. Healing vibrations. While we link purring to cats, dogs create similar therapeutic vibrations through their breathing and heartbeat. These subtle frequencies can stimulate cellular repair in the human body. Healing warmth. A dog's body heat is not just thermal, it's energetic. When a dog lays on a painful area of its owner's body, it's directing a flow of healing warmth that can aid recovery. Pressure point activation. Dogs seem to intuitively know where to apply pressure. When they rest a paw or their head on you, they are often stimulating energy meridians or acupressure points. Case even noted that different breeds often have healing specialties. Larger breeds often excel at healing deep-seated trauma and issues of security. Smaller dogs are often wonderful for healing anxiety and issues of self-worth. Calm, quiet dogs are ideal for stress and hyperactivity. High energy, playful dogs are perfect for lifting depression and a lack of zest for life. The most astonishing part is that this healing is intentional. They are conscious of their role. They choose to take on our suffering to help us. Giving them energy, cleansing activities like walks in nature, joyful play, and immense affection is how we help them process the energies they absorb from us. It is our part of the sacred exchange. When we grasp that our dogs are dedicated spiritual healers, our gratitude for them deepens into reverence. They are not just pets, they are angels in fur coats, committed to our healing, our protection, and our evolution. And this is just the beginning of the transformation they bring.